Welcome everyone to another episode of the Warmup. I'm here with the guys as per usual. We got Deuce back in the building after having a short hiatus for a couple of weeks. We got Kev R.L. our normal Sage Smith. Then we have Eye of the Newt, and we have Chris Belichick in the building. Say what's up to our fans, man, our crowd, guys.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back, dude.
What it do? What it do? Glad to be back.
Hey. What's new with you, man?
Man, moved across the country. I'm back in the South. North Carolina, raised up.
You do talk different. You see how you said South with the TAs?
Yep, you do.
That's an F.
They've been criticizing the way I talk, man. And people have been doubting my southernness.
Your southernness. Okay. Did we lose him? It's just me.
He cut out for a little second, but I think he back now.
Oh, look. See?
He back.
The South
back in the
get me, bro. The South trying to get me.
Oh, man. Well, I'm sure they're glad to have you, man. Go ahead and get locked down and stuff. Get you some cheerings. So, yeah. I'm manifesting that for you. Anyways, if this is your first time rocking with us, man, this is a place where we talk about sports, current events, and everything else through the lens of black culture. Man, we're here every Tuesday with the drop. And, follow us on social media. We got the Discord popping. Come through. We got the invite in the description box every Tuesday. Like I said, it's there. And we also got some more content. So, yeah, just be on the lookout for that. And, let's see, Instagram, Twitter. Follow us again. All that stuff is on our page. And if you're on the audio side, check us out on the YouTube side. You can get the outtakes and some of the smaller clips. And if you're on YouTube and want to hear on the podcast, on the audio format, on your way home, check us out, man. We got the links in the description box as well. Give us 5 stars, thumbs up, hit the ring, the notification bell, follow us, tell a friend to tell a friend. Man, that's a lot. Anything else I missed?
I think you might have misread it there.
Reddit.
Yeah. It's up on Reddit. Do y'all want us to have a TikTok? Put it in the comments.
Ooh.
Let us know.
Man, look, I said I wasn't going to do a TikTok. Let's see.
Yeah, you already said that.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah. So the intro, Chris, you have to dance, man. You got to pop lock.
Yeah.
You got Memphis bounce.
When they do this shit. They be doing all kind of weird shit, bro. They see?
Yeah, I don't know.
Old heads in the building, baby.
Man, he said Memphis bounce, bro. That is not a such a thing. We do
the gangster walk.
The gangster walk. Yeah, we do the gangster walk. So that's true. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to show y'all on TikTok. You know what? I already said I wasn't gonna do it, so we gonna
exactly.
do
I was gonna say I'm gonna keep it true to that.
Try it. You get Terrence Howard impression, man.
Oh,
TikTok.
Come on,
man. Oh man. I don't know what we gonna do out here, man.
I know about y'all, man. I'm growing young. So.
You just aging finally, gracefully aging.
I'm growing young, man.
I feel you. All right, well, let's get right into it. Some people's career ain't aging young. It's tragic. I don't ever heard this guy named Cameron Newton from Atlanta, I believe. Went to Auburn. He was a Panther.
Ooh.
Wow. Just because Alabama couldn't recruit him. They didn't have enough money to anyways.
Wow.
Anyways, Cameron Newton, he's been in the news for the wrong reasons. Not at a detriment of his own, willpower or, decisions, but, former Patriot. He lost his job, got cut to a rookie, Mac Jones, who's from Alabama. That's an interesting thing, man. He lost
Auburn for Alabama.
He lost his job to an Alabama rookie in the New England Patriots. After saying he wasn't going out like that in the off season or the previous season, and now he don't have no job. He got a lot of hats. He ain't got no job. So
He got
a job. He just don't got a job. He got a job. He's just not in the NFL.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
those hats are a business too. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sipping smoke. and I think he got his own cigar line.
Okay, look, those ain't jobs. Those are business ventures. You know. So.
Wow.
Better
Okay.
that than a job.
Better.
It is.
For real.
It is. I just say he had no job. Now y'all was out here coming back. Well, you know he got.
You know what
this,
them old heads say? Jobs just stand for J-O-B, just over broke.
What? So does he not have a job for real? Like, can he back up Mac Jones? Not to say that's his.
No, he's released.
He has been released.
He may have a
done.
job. He may have a job somewhere down the season, but it's not with the New England Patriots.
Not
He
with
is
Patriots.
released.
Yes.
Got it.
Houston's calling.
I-
Houston's calling.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of teams that should be calling, but you know, we'll see. You know, whoever Carson Wentz at, he can get that job. But
Wow.
anyway, let's move on, man. Look,
Hey.
do y'all think he was let go? Or why do you think? Like, what's the reason you guys thought he was let go? Is it because of his performance? Because of the COVID thing? I didn't know I couldn't do that. Is it because of his hats? What is it? Deuce.
He didn't want to wear the helmet. Where you going with it first?
I'm gonna go with the newcomer, man. I ain't seen him in 2 weeks, man. So I know he got some takes.
Hey.
And he from Alabama, so.
Oh yeah, man. Cam rubbed me the wrong way in college, bro. I remember that whole season.
Mm-hmm.
Cam dashed our hopes, man. Why was he let go? My question is, why was he picked up? Cam does not fit the Patriot way. Like, name one loud personality the Patriots have for more than one season. I think they had Ocho for like a hot second, and he didn't really do anything there. Name a big personality the Patriots had. Randy was quiet when he was with the pass. He was quiet.
Gronkowski.
He wasn't outspoken. Huh?
Gronkowski.
Gronk in a different way. He was
it's a different
energetic,
way.
exuberant.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Malcolm.
Cam is a whole character on its own, man. You bring Cam in, it's a Cam show. That was one thing. I think that made things a little rough, man. And then 2020 was not a good year for Cam or the Patriots as a whole. So that performance. And Matt Jones showed that he can ball out a little bit in the preseason, man. He showed a lot of promise. So I can see that. Now, what Bill Belichick put out there was the presence in the locker room. Cam is the man in that locker room. You got this young kid coming up in Matt Jones who can't match Cam's energy, can't match Cam's charismatic vibe, man. So it's going to be hard to make Cam the number 2 quarterback in that locker room. He would still be the man, you know what I'm saying? Let Matt Jones throw one interception. Cam, where you at? He can be ready to go, right? So I can see that part. The vaccine thing, I know Belichick walked back on that. Wise move, Hoodie Bill. Wise move. But let's be real about it. Looking at it as an organizational perspective, man, Cam missed, 2 weeks last season? 2 games at least? That's 2 weeks for COVID, right? And I think he missed 5 days this preseason for COVID protocol. Now, team looking at it, if you catch COVID again or COVID protocol, you out. You could come back quicker with a vaccine. We've seen that with Chris Paul in the playoffs this year. If you don't have the vaccine, you out for a longer time. And Belichick's thing is availability, man. You got to be ready. So that goes against everything. For him to have it, then have the scare, and then he say he's not going to get it, it's his choice. It's his body. But these are the consequences. You know what I'm saying? So I see it from the team's perspective. So I think it's really locker room chemistry. Not like it was bad, but just the pecking order. You can't tell King Kong to be a chimpanzee. And then vaccine, man. I think they had a role to play on it, but I think Bill did a good job of walking back on that publicly.
Okay. Probably he's still out here like after vaccine. You know what I'm saying?
Probably he's in his hoodie. Take the vaccine.
Vaccine, Cam, take the vaccine.
I'm just gonna jab you one time while you sleep.
Oh, okay. All right, man. Cam, you got anything you want to add to that?
I got a question for Deuce. You mentioned Mac Jones, and he showed himself this preseason. Did he outplay Cam?
That's a good question, man. No, I don't think he outplayed Cam. I think he played close enough to make the decision a little easier.
Okay. I think so too. I think it was closer than people expected, and yeah, from what I could tell, he didn't outplay him, but at the same time, he brought up the other factors as well. So, yeah. The point you made about King Kong and Chimpanzee, though, I was curious about that, whether or not they could have kept Cam on and have him be that same spirited leader type mentality, but do it from the backup role. Like you think he has that humility in him to play that position if it was offered to him?
I think from an organizational standpoint, like on the field, I think it was a dumb move. Cam is instantly he becomes like the best backup quarterback in the league, and you got him for pennies under the dollar. So on the field, I think it was a bad decision because Matt, we don't know what he's going to be like with that pressure, man. I think they should have kept him on the field. And off the field, I listened to the I Am Athlete podcast with Cam on it. He talked a good game. On that he said he's a starting quarterback. I just thought about that. So no, I don't think.
You don't think he could do
I
it?
don't think he would have been happy. I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I ain't got too much to add to that, man. Like I didn't have a reason because I was curious to hear what y'all would have said because I didn't have a reason for why he was cut. I figured the coach just had a direction in where he wanted to go, and all those factors y'all mentioned may have played a role and sealed the coffin, if you will, with durability, not durability, but health and being able to play games. Belichick maybe have a vision for this season, but I also thought about what you mentioned. He's a rookie. He might need some support. He might need some backup. He might need some help if the game is not going in the right direction. And I'm not sure who he has now to step into that role to support him in that way. But all in all, I was more open to hearing what y'all had to say about why he left. I just figured it was, hey, coach's decision. He had a different way he wanted to rock, so he rocked the way he wanted to, and that was it.
Fair, yeah. Okay. Eye of the Newt. Mr. Newt supported yourself.
This man was supposed to come through with the eye of the tiger, and he came through with the eye of the newt. That's what happened. So,
thank you for explaining, my brother.
I'm gonna say this. At first, I read the storylines, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. He got COVID last season, and I think he kind of talked about like COVID really hit. Like people be out here joking, playing around. He's just like he didn't really recover. We saw him get benched. And they said, like sometimes when you're just obviously the game's out of your reach, sometimes they just switch it up just to see how it is. I think, he showed that he recovered from his injuries previous to last season. All right. COVID kind of threw him off for a loop, but I think, his foot injury, I think that's why he was out. And he had some shoulder stuff going on, but I feel like he's good. Y'all said, it was close in preseason. I feel like there was really no long-term faith in the first place because he had a long 1-year deal last time, and they signed him again for another 1-year deal now. So I talked to a Boston fan, and when I heard their perspective, it kind of made me change. It's like, sure, we could go and say the vaccine thing is why he got cut or COVID reasons and all this stuff, but if you think about it, you drafted a rookie quarterback because you were looking for somebody. They one of the best performing rookies out of the draft class this year. I think they saw something that they believed in long term. They got a lot of their guys back that opted out last season for COVID reasons. They just I didn't want to deal with it. And I think Bill Belichick knew that Cam Newton deserved a starting spot. So he just released him rather than just shelf him on the bench. That's what I think happened.
Yeah.
I got a question to that. So do you think it was more the Patriots that didn't want to offer him a long-term deal, or that Cam wanted probably more money? Because we know Bill Belichick is close with the wallet.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think they were both mutually kind of like, Cam probably was like, well, I can outperform and get a bigger contract, and they were probably like, we don't know, like he hasn't really showed. He kept having struggles. He was injured before we got him. Now he got him. He had the COVID situation. Like he never really got to prove himself. So I think it was mutually beneficial for these short-term deals.
Yeah.
Is the head coach in NFL the GM? Or how does that work?
In this case, Bill Belichick is the head coach and the GM.
And the GM, I see.
in this situation, but that is not always the case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, those are all good takes. I do think a lot of things that you guys have said is true with the Patriots organization and Cam. And I agree. when they picked up Cam, I was just like, what's going to happen? I just didn't see how he fit into a system because Patriots is a system team. Now, he's never been overly accurate. Like, he's always been around 60%, 65% accuracy. And so he has a big arm, but it don't always hit the person at all. So, and he's a big quarterback, so a lot of times he relies on his physical prowess to be able to get first downs, which we did see last year. And yeah, he has been injury prone coming off a Carolina contract and things like that. I think Belichick is, he's tight with his money. I don't think that he saw a role for Cam Newton, or maybe they did not agree on a role with Mac Jones being the starter, the QB1. And Mac Jones is a great pocket passer. He's, you get him on a rookie contract.
You said the key word.
Yeah.
Pocket passer. Yeah.
You said the key word. He fixed that
a lot of
system.
that.
Yeah.
I do disagree. I do think Cam could have worked there. I just think, they found something that worked better for them. But I feel like, we saw glimpses of it last season. Early season, he had some success. Got thrown off by COVID. And even, you guys just called it a preseason. He had some success as well. So I don't think he can't work with the team. I just think they just found a long-term fit that worked better for them. They drafted a rookie that they believe in.
Yeah, but I think when it comes to Cam, you need to have a really good receiver. Like, he had Steve Smith as a receiver.
Steve Smith was a beast, man.
Yeah, he had and I think he had I think he had a good tight end. Obviously he had McCaffrey, for a little bit. Like, he has, every once in a while, he has like a really good receiver that he can rely on. Even Ted Ginn was on the team. He ain't got no hands, but he's fast.
Yeah.
But I think Cam needs to rely on the performance of receivers. And most years, Patriots ain't got no receivers. The receiving core is whack. So
I feel like this is where they kind of keep their coins at.
I feel like Bill Belichick about to give us a call on the receiving core, man. Like, you're right. I don't know why he never drafted.
He said, I got no hand.
Hey, they got to stop for you in the Patriots, man.
There you go. No, but they're going back to the 2 tight end set. I believe they did. I believe they did get another tight end to kind of round out their formations and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, Mac Jones is probably going to be doing like a lot of short, under 10-yard passes between
Tom Brady.
Essentially for now. That's what Tom Brady was until he figured it out. Like, he was allowed to grow in that spot, and he took Drew Bledsoe, who was probably a better performer at the time, took his spot. He was just a better game manager. So
I'm glad you brought up Drew, man, because I was listening to a podcast. I can't remember which one it was, but they were talking. Somebody had spoke to Bill Belichick, and he said that he regretted the fact that he didn't start Brady that season. He took over for Bledsoe. He had this feeling, his gut told him pick Brady, but he went with seniority, Bledsoe. And they're saying that maybe he's thinking about that decision he made 20 years ago. He doesn't want to make that same mistake now.
Could be.
A lot of good points.
And Cam Newton had no tenure. He was only there for 16 weeks, and 13 of them things he was out.
Well, I mean, with the Patriots, but he's former MVP.
True.
Went to the Super Bowl. I don't think he didn't win that year, right?
No. That was the one the Denver Broncos won because of Von Miller and the defense, not because of Peyton Manning.
Yeah. Wow. 13
for 23, no touchdowns and 1 interception.
We didn't even ask for this information. He just volunteered.
Peyton Dash.
Just say it.
Nobody was like at the helm of Peyton. He just wanted to build the story up just so he could jump power and just shoot Peyton Manning down.
Well, Peyton insurance commercials.
For real.
I just had to get it out there, man. I had to get it out there.
Like a good neighbor.
Hey, don't be on those pre-promos, man.
Oh man. So where y'all think Cam Newton's gonna go? Y'all think he gonna be signed with someone, or he's just gonna do his business ventures and quit having a job?
think he'll be on Sip and Smoke, bro.
He gonna be on Sip and Smoke? Okay, but is he gonna have another job this year in the NFL? That's the real question.
Is there a team with a need?
There's always a team with a need.
Hey, what's that team up in DC, man? There's a football team in DC.
The Washington
football team.
The Washington football team.
Which caveat? I think the Cleveland Indians changed their name, and they got a cool name. I forgot what it is. I heard it on the radio. I was like, oh, that's a cool name. Yet Dan Snyder just refuses to pick a name. Anyways, I heard something that the Washington professional NFL football team had a decent squad. They was missing a quarterback. Maybe reunited with Riverboat Run and Cam, part 2. What y'all think?
But they got Ryan Fitzmagic, so I don't know if that's
you picking Harvard over Auburn?
I'm just saying, every time Fitzpatrick plays, he wins some spectacular games, and then for some reason he always gets benched. So
yeah,
it's a Doug Flutie effect, man. Because Doug was he was a good quarterback. They always benched him for some odd reason.
Yeah, so I don't know, but I don't know about that. I mean, I'm not saying it can't work. I mean, I would give him a look if I was Washington. You can never have too many good quarterbacks. Yeah. Where's Carson Wentz playing? Colts. Go take him over.
Is he with the Colts?
Go ahead.
He could also take over Andy Dalton's spot.
Andy Dalton too. Yeah. Wherever those players are, if there's a Carson Palmer out there. Derek Carr. Yeah, Derek Carr. Like, there are some teams.
Do the Panthers want him back?
Oakland. Nah.
I don't think so.
I don't think he can go back to the Panthers.
You mean Vegas, not Oakland?
He can't go there.
Raiders? I don't think so.
You said Oakland. I was like, no, Vegas.
Yeah. Raiders.
They'll be back.
Just say that.
He said they'll be back.
Just call it Raiders, bro. Because you never know where they want to be. They don't know where they want to be. Hey, maybe it's time for Big Ben to take a hike, bro. You never know.
I think they had Dwayne Haskins as the backup right now.
Oh, so that's
Which Haskins, man. I don't know. I gotta watch him play again.
Well, we did watch him play. It was horrible, and then he got.
They say he doesn't have to drive either. Like he's not motivated to. I'm surprised you guys ain't say Houston, considering Deshaun Watson. I don't even know what his status. Is he still on the team?
Oh, he's still on the team. They gonna start. They gonna play that boy.
I don't know if he's playing.
They probably gonna play him.
That's how Houston.
I don't know if he's gonna play either.
All right, we'll see. All right. I don't know any other teams that I could think of, man. I just follow the bad quarterbacks to see where they go.
That's what it sounded like.
And be like, how they get a job? Yeah.
Wow.
Just
what about I know they have a quarterback already, the Ravens.
You can't.
Oh hell no! He is not gonna supplant Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, he ain't going past him.
Not former. Wasn't he just MVP like 2 seasons ago?
Yeah, 2 seasons
ago.
Yeah, he
was.
Yeah, nah.
Okay.
Hey, who does he start though? I expect him to back him up.
Oh, I don't know. Cam deserves a starting spot. I don't think.
You say he's not gonna take a backup position?
No, I don't see him doing that.
I don't know. I think he can land the starting spot. I don't think he needs to even entertain the backup position. That's what I see right now.
Hey man.
Do you guys think he's gonna have to? You think he's gonna have to get the jab in order to get the spot? Because I saw the headline today talking about the NBA trying to figure out how they're wrestling with what they're gonna do with unvaccinated players.
I don't foresee it because I feel like there's a lot of NFL players that are probably unvaccinated right now.
Yeah, but they've already made the mandate. If there's a breakout, y'all forfeit. So
and that's team white thing. Breakout, obviously. It means multiple people got together. So
Yep. To where they got to cancel the game.
Yeah.
Everyone going home.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So Cam took out that sweat tie, bro. I thought you were sweating for Cam because Cam like, well, I'm gonna find the next job at.
not the suit.
Oh man.
Doing them interviews.
I mean, like the dude put out today. Don't no feel sorry for him, man. Like, he
Ooh,
good.
yeah. Maybe that guy's sweating. Let's move on to that guy because Ben Simmons is out here. Woo, he is in some dark days. You know what I'm saying? So, if you guys remember in the exit interview after they got bounced by the Hawks, Joel Embiid made some comments. Some people would take it as he was throwing Ben Simmons under the bus. He was saying a lot of things, and I don't have the transcript in front of me, but he mentioned the free throws, and he mentioned like, next thing I know we're down and blah blah blah. So
did y'all run the tapes? Did y'all do the homework assignment and run back the tapes?
I run back the tape, man. Like it wasn't like, I don't know. Like I said, you could extract it. If you want to extract it, you could extract it. But that wasn't the only thing he said, though. He talked about his bad, the part where he messed up. I'm like, that's okay.
That's what I remember. But I hadn't rewatched it when we had the discussion. I wanted to be sure because I'm like, what's the hype of like what he threw him under the bus? Like I felt like if you want to say Doc threw him under the bus, I think we had that conversation here on the podcast before, and I kind of understood like how people would say he threw him under the bus. But when it came to the Embiid situation, they just said, hey, break it down to us. Where do you think things went wrong? He said, missed free throws. Then there was a play where I just did a silly turnover, and there was a chain of events where things cascaded. The takeaway there, takeaway from that was, oh my God, y'all throwing me under the bus. I feel like he's too sensitive for the NBA.
It was a call for call. He was just making a call for call on what went wrong at the end of the game. He put himself, accountable. He held himself accountable, and he held his teammate accountable.
Yeah.
So that's what it sounded like to me. Accountability at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
like Trae Young was gonna hold that dunk accountable. Ben Simmons would have went up with it.
And if I recall correctly, it's not even that he mentioned that Ben Simmons missed the free throw. He mentioned that a play that we thought we were gonna have a simple basket ended up being a free throw. Like he went 1 for 1. Whoever ended up, he passed it because Ben Simmons dished it off instead of going up to the rim, and whoever he passed it to got fouled and didn't make the basket and went 1 for 1 on the free throw. So it wasn't even saying Ben Simmons missed a free throw. So we ended up in a free throw situation and went 1 for 1. Yeah. That's just like Mark Jackson calling the game. This is what happened. If you get offended from people calling, like looking at the play and say the ball was passed, there was a foul on the play, somebody made a free throw. If that is enough to make you go off into Australia and just stop answering the phone, it's too much.
But is that what he's doing? Is Ben Simmons who's doing it, or is it the media that's hyping it up?
So this is what I was going to mention. So Ben Simmons is not taking phone calls from management right now.
Or Joel
Embiid. He unfollowed the Sixers on Twitter, I believe, which that's petty, but whatever. But he's and now I saw the latest rumors is that he wants to leave. He doesn't want to be in Philadelphia anymore.
That's what Rich Paul said. Rich Paul said we go anywhere where we're not staying in Philly.
Yeah, but
Rich said that.
Yeah, that's today. That just dropped today.
So
Rich Paul is good at blowing up teams, man. He missed to blow it up.
So
I'd be scared if I was a GM and Rich Paul signed one of my players.
I know, right? Hey, yo.
He out there working, man. He out there working. You know what he's doing. He's stirring it up.
I gotta start looking for another job.
He's stirring it up. He's stirring it up.
So
getting GMs fired around here.
So my question to this though is Ben Simmons getting in the same sensitivity realm as KD when it comes to criticisms about his game or performance?
To me, I know some people got certain opinions on KD. I've never seen KD do anything like this. He might be sensitive to us because he likes to engage with people on Twitter, but he show up on that court and do what he got to do.
Okay.
He may not like the criticism. He may not respond to it in the way that we want him to be humble and take it. He may do the back and forth, but he go on the court and get better.
Okay.
It's an interesting take.
Yeah, that's.
When you asked the question, I didn't have a view on it because how people respond to situation, like how people respond to sadness, to happiness, including being sensitive, is different. So I can't really gauge their level of sensitivity based on their response. You know.
So That's a good point.
That's tough for me. That's tough. That's a tough one.
That's a good point.
Okay. What about you, Deuce? You got? Are you got a new unique take on this too, or you just follow?
I'm not gonna take the intelligent route that my brother Kev said. Man.
Said, how do you define it?
Throw the arm, throw the blows.
I'm not gonna take the introspective approach that Reg took, man. All I know is, Chris, what you mentioned. This dude came out in the exit interview and said, "I am who I am." And we talked about that.
Yes.
My interpretation is I would not try to get better. Even if I had professional shooters, hello JJ Redick, tell me that I'm shooting from the wrong hand. I don't care. And as far as the question is the sense of his KD, I like the fact KD, no matter how he's feeling, he's going to show up and play. I listened to that podcast that him and Draymond did together. You guys listen to that?
Yep.
Part of it.
Very interesting point.
Yeah.
They brought up some interesting points, but the thing that I noticed is the fact that they blame management for how they handled the situation with him and with Draymond and KD on the court, right? Management should have handled it better. They should have, just let us talk. I'm like, well, dude, why y'all ain't talk?
I heard that interview and I thought it sounded crazy. And then I mean, when I saw the headline and when I heard him, I actually thought what they said made sense because it was a situation where management got involved with management it need to, and it kind of just it just kind of soured things more than it needed to be because it became less between okay, we had a disagreement, let us piece it up. And I hear what you're saying, like, oh, they could have had the talk if they wanted to. But when people start coming in and say, oh, you need to go to the person and say this thing for things to be okay, now it's no longer about the issue you have. Now you feel like, well, if I go there, now I'm appeasing you and I don't want to do that. Yeah. Like, so it became something it didn't need to be.
Yeah.
I feel that, but that's not, I don't want to go down a tangent. I feel you on that. But to the question, man, Ben Simmons, he's acting like a little punk right now, man. He's quitting on his team. You know what I'm saying? You got dude. I am who I am. I'm upset. Doc said there's a lot of work that needs to be done. True or false? That's true. We're gonna be in the gym working on those free throws. He needs to. The media hit him. He had a hard off season, but right now, man. I don't want to show up to camp. I don't want to I'm unfollowing you. AD didn't do all that. AD showed up. He let Rich do the dirty work. He let Rich do all that. That's what you got to do as a player because you have a brand. You know what I'm saying? People still like AD outside of New Orleans. I seen the picture where the hurricane came through. People needed food, but the chips that had AD's face on it was still on the aisle. Everything else was empty. Man. He's hurt there, but I feel like this is hurting Ben Simmons, the brand. This is approach. It's not a smart approach. Let your agent handle the dirty work so that you could always say, I didn't say that. And your brand is good. That's all I'm saying.
Sources say Ben Simmons don't want to be there. Ben Simmons don't got to say it. They'll be the source.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's all, man. He'll be smart with the game because he's hurting his brand, and his brand took a big hit in his playoffs. I don't know if he can take another hit.
Well, I mean, do y'all think max contract puts you in the stratosphere thinking, hey, maybe I'm this guy? It worked for Harden?
Yeah, I think so.
So maybe he's like, well, if it worked for Harden, it should work for me. But I feel like Harden be executing. That's what I'm saying. Harden be executing.
He be executing.
I ain't gonna say beast, not beast. I feel like Simmons is a beast in his own right, but he be executing to all the team need, whether it's facilitating, knocking down, being the offensive player. He's been stepping up on defense lately.
What'd you say? Being the what?
Ben is a beast in his own right. It's not the same type of beast.
Defense, rebounds. You said offensive player.
No, that was in refrain. But we switched context now. I was talking about Harden.
Oh, okay.
I said Ben is a beast in his own right, but I said Harden did everything his team needs, being a facilitator, being an offensive player. Nah.
That's on my pad too.
And I even heard me say like he's been stepping up his defense lately. Ben's always been defense first, and then filling these other vectors, getting rebounds and stuff like that. But I'm just saying Harden he could make that, like, even though even then a lot of people didn't like how he went about not showing up to camp and all this other kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, he's showing proof on the court.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I hear what all y'all say. I think I'm gonna have to align more so with Deuce. I mean, but I do agree with, you know, how do we define it? That makes sense. That's a valid point. I do agree about the introspective, you know, your woosah over there with you, Newton.
Ain't no woosah, man. Ain't no woosah. Just understanding our differences, man. That's all.
Yeah, I understand. No, I get it. I get it.
You posed the question, you didn't answer. Do you feel like KD is more or less sensitive?
No, I do. I feel me.
Yeah, you ain't answer the question.
No,
because I know you don't like KD.
I was going to answer the question. So I do think that KD is sensitive, but he is sensitive to in the public domain. It doesn't affect his game, which I can respect. Like, no one's ever said because someone said something about Kevin Durant, he only put up 10 points or he didn't shoot. You know, something that we know him to do. Like, I think that's something that should be considered, and I do think in that context, he has the one up, or he's, you know, we can't fault him from that. Now, Ben Simmons, on the other hand, he ain't had that heat. Now, he's not engaged, you know, like that. I'm sure people talked about him before. He ain't never been in the Twitter streets and, you know, have a burner account that we know of, you know, all that stuff. And engaging with fans.
Says he's gonna keep it.
Yeah. Like we know we haven't seen that yet. So, but what we have seen, and in a different context. I mean, I guess if you want to say he's more soft or less soft, game time on the floor, Kevin Durant ain't. You know, Ben Simmons is way more sensitive, or way more in his head. I would just say way more in his head. And the decisions that he's make is impacted by how people feel about him on the court. Or even how he even prepares to be on the court. Kevin Durant just in the gym all the time, and then when he's not in the gym, he's on Twitter. Like, that's it. He's in the gym on Twitter. I don't think he's more sensitive than Kevin Durant. I think the way he's handling it is very immature. Like, he hasn't learned how to take those kind of criticism. He's probably never really been criticized. He's always been touted in LSU. He was touted as number 1, number 2 overall pick, number 1 overall pick. He sat out his whole rookie season, so we're still waiting for him. And then he finally comes out. Now he's with Embiid. It's kind of like immediate success. Like they just won off of their will and skill, like, without being polished yet. So, like, he never really had criticism. He was touted as like the next big LeBron. All he needs to get is a shot. He's as good as LeBron. He's fast. He's athletic. He's tall, point guard. Blah blah blah. Vision, all that. Do you
think that Memphis Bleak syndrome hit him? Them comparisons to LeBron just put that pressure on him?
No, because he's always been given that, right? We've always given him the path of, like, hey, this guy's going to be a generational talent. It's going to be the next best thing. People criticized LeBron the day he got in. Like, I don't know if you remember, like, how folks were talking about him in high school.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're like, he's just a high school kid. He ain't gonna make, like, he's been criticized from entry, right? Yeah. Ben Simmons has kind of been, I won't say
glorified.
Yeah, he's been glorified. He's been lauded as, like, this great player. This is the first time there's like a collective voice saying, "Yo, what are you doing, Ben? Like, you like, we making fun of you now because, number one, you're talking smack, right? You know, you're trash talking about, like, you know, I want to get up and I want to see you next. You got to get past the Hawks first, right?"
Well, this is a regular season game, but I think at the time they was all hobbled. But it was that time where they were suffering with injuries, and they were like, "Oh, like something about it's like, oh, we're not worried about the Nets."
Yeah,
like, it was that. It was regular season, but
it was very braggart. Like, it was an air of confidence, right? So okay, cool, bet. So I want you to say anything we did for the Clippers.
That same energy.
Yeah, when Clippers didn't even say anything, because I don't even speak. But just off of signing and got all this stuff, now people want Battle of LA, blah blah blah, because it's one commercial that he did not even direct. It was, you know,
he had the crown. He could have been like, "Hey man, can y'all take the crown off the shot? I'm not comfortable with this." He let it fly. He let it fly.
I know.
You gotta give him unless they photoshopped it after the fact.
It could have been
put it in there. CGI.
Kawhi's uncle signed off on that.
Hey man, it could have been Kawhi's uncle in the car. We didn't see his face in that shot. It could have just on the back of his head, the cornrows. So we don't know. Could have been a double. But
you said something interesting. Y'all said you were saying like I understand what we're saying now about the sensitivity and how he's reacting to the criticism in terms of not, communicating on following and all this immature stuff.
Yeah.
But is the criticism affecting his play on the court, or is he who he is?
Oh, for sure.
Huh?
Nah, for sure. I think so.
I had that question too. I wonder if the criticism is affecting his play as well as what happened recently with the whole unfriending and wanting to move. Like, I'm talking about it as though that is the fact, but is it that he's just not? Maybe he's not feeling himself. He's not able to achieve his goals. He's not feeling like he can grow in that space. Maybe there's some other conflicts beyond what we've heard.
Yeah.
Like there's so many other factors. So I know we're speaking as though it is the criticism what led him to all of these things that we're seeing. But is that a given?
I personally don't know. Like I'm not saying because of the criticism his performance was bad.
Even the sensitivity part too. Because we're saying that he's doing all of this now. We're saying that whatever he's doing now is a reaction, rather than whatever he's doing now is just a decision. We're not saying he made a decision. We're saying he's reacting.
True.
Is he reacting?
Well, I would say, like, we're all doing conjecture here, but I would just say that the reaction, not the on the court stuff. I think, like you said, who he is. I think he just really felt like somebody was coming and he thought he was making the better play by passing up the ball. Yeah. His mindset was not aggressive. Like if it was a Shaq or, some people just have the mama mentality, whatever you want to call it, where it's just like, I'm the guy, I need to make it happen. I'm in a good position. Not like it's a bad shot. This is a high percentage shot. I need to step up into this moment. Where other people, even on the court, like some people will pass first and just pass first people. And I think that's what happened there. I think that, but in terms of
that was a while ago now. That's still impacting him. That play.
What you mean? I think the fallout from that series and that play is what's prompting this. And I don't think it's just a decision, because if it was just a decision, you'd be like, hey, you know what? I think my time here at Philly is something, and you let the agents do it. The fact that he's so emotional. I think if there's no if he's not somehow offended by criticism, whether internally or out,
it doesn't have to be the criticism. That's gonna be a conflicts within house. That's what I'm saying. Whatever he's doing right now, I think we're making an assumption as though it's. But
the conflict stemming from what though?
Who knows?
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
So what would the conflict be other than the criticism?
I don't know, man.
Because they was all clicking on the way up to the playoffs when shit was good. Everybody was like, oh yeah,
but
Ben don't shoot as a joke.
We're like in September, and this news come out in August. So I'm just asking you guys, why wasn't this done earlier? Like why is it coming now where he's saying I'm not showing up to camp? Like why is it all happening now? Did something new happen? Like
I'll be the
conjecture. I was gonna say we can fact check, but I feel like they've been talking about this since the offseason started. They said because he hasn't been in contact since the championship. I feel like
this bomb that just dropped it. I don't want to be at the Sixers no more. I'm not showing to training camp. That was a new bomb.
That's a new bomb, but I'm saying that there's been no communication since last season. That's not normal.
Yeah, he's not taking the phone calls. He hasn't been taking the calls this whole summer. That's before the latest drop that you were referring to with Rich Paul.
Okay.
So
I'll be the conjecture king, man. I think it is a response to like just all the drama. And Kev, to your point, I think this is the first time that the Sixers have actively been involved in trading, like taking calls and trading them. However, you also have to realize this is the first time that Daryl Morey has been in charge of the Sixers. And with Daryl, everybody is tradable. Everybody, right? And that's just a whole new ball game with them. But I think I personally, I'll go out in the sword on my shield and say, I think Ben Simmons is letting the rumors, how people view how whack his game is right now, affect his game. I also will go out and say he's been like this, like Chris was saying, he's never had, at least from what we know, negative media attached to him, right? And one thing that's always been attached to him is the fact that he's cool. Ben Simmons is cool. He was hot in the social media sphere, right? He was dating a Kardashian, you know, all this stuff. He was like a rock star. And I think that was shattered. I think that was shattered this season.
When
The
was it
playoffs.
In the
I think
playoffs.
specifically the playoffs.
But
Yeah, I
we're
think it was
saying it happened in the playoffs, but we're also saying that it affected his playoffs. So you're saying the negative criticism started in the playoffs and also affected him in the playoffs.
Just that one aspect, like him being cool. But before then, coming into the season, there was all this talk where he finally took a 3-pointer. There was so much pressure on him. I think he didn't want to mess up or look dumb doing it, right? And there was all this pressure on the weakness of his game, which his scoring.
And it's been there. That pressure has been there before this season.
Yeah.
Before last season.
And to be fair, when I talk about what he's sensitive to and what is impacting, it's impacting his off season moves. I'm not saying he's not in the gym. Because obviously I can't say before. Obviously I don't know what happened before. And there's been plenty of seasons where Ben Simmons is in the gym shooting threes, and then he comes to the NBA like the full season, and we don't
see
ever
videos.
see it. But
There were videos.
We seen video.
Yeah, because he
was shooting.
Brett Brown was out here pushing it. Yeah.
If we wanted to come up with the narrative to say that that narrative has been affecting his on-court gameplay, the only way I would say that is if players and we did kind of see this a little bit, if players really started buying into that narrative, and you would see that sometimes he would be open and they wouldn't close out on him. Now that might start fucking with your head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And to do that on purpose.
They did that to Rondo a few seasons ago, and Rondo developed a 3-pointer.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
I mean, try him.
Exactly.
So
if you're already reluctant to shoot, and they damn near basically just challenge you to shoot, I could see that affecting your performance. Because now you're letting those outside voices be like, you can't shoot, and now you just kind of freezing up in them. That's the only way. But I more so think, like I was saying, the reactionary stuff is just how he's handling the off season. Because you could be fed up, you could be conflict, but to go this far, to be so into it, emotionally invested in having it go in not a productive way, because the turmoil doesn't help with your trade if you really want to be out. So I feel like at some point it's personal emotions. It's a little bit of I feel disrespected.
So
oh man, y'all feel disrespected?
I think so.
I mean, here's the thing too, though. You're talking about all that. The trade is maybe hit the Google bot. You won't be a free agent in 2025, man.
Whoa.
And free agent 2025. Yeah. So Daryl Morey,
maybe he's trying to blow it up, man. Maybe he's just trying to blow it up. Maybe Rich Paul told him, man, they got you in like 2025. You got you know those like relationships where you want to get out of a relationship, but rather than just say I want out, you just start doing BS, so the other person be like, man, I'm done with you.
You mean like James Harden? Just get fat, come in overweight.
Get fat.
Start partying with no mask on.
Yeah.
I feel like Rich Paul is. I feel like Rich Paul is dancing with the Rich Paul of GMs and Daryl Morey, man. Like, Daryl don't care about that. He wants the best asset he can get for his asset. That's how he looks at it.
I understand that too. Yeah, I understand that too. But who knows? These guys are in their own space.
But then what do they do in the meantime?
Who knows, man?
Because he wants everything in the kitchen sink, like you just said with Daryl Morey. He wants everything in the kitchen sink. After the performance and that we saw last season, his stock's a little drop. With all the drama flare up, his stock's a little drop. So what do we go for until 2025? What does that look like?
I don't know what that looks like, but the fact that Rich coming out and like publicly like almost backing up his like I want to stay away from Philadelphia. Like he's backing it up, almost like I'm seconding this. I'm seconding it, and I'm seconding how he feels about being in Philadelphia. So I don't know. These guys have their job because of what they do. So let's see if something comes out of this. Keep an eye out.
It worked.
Man, please do the Ben Simmons for Dame Dash.
For Dame Dash.
Not for Dame. I mean,
Dang.
Why would you call it?
Get it out. He's struggling right now.
This guy.
Lillard, Dame Lillard.
Yeah,
There you go.
These are the trade. Ben Simmons for Dame Lillard, man. I think Ben teamed up with CJ on Portland. Nice. And then Dame and Embiid.
I wouldn't make that trade.
If you were Portland, you wouldn't make it. Or if you were Philly,
It was Portland. If I was Portland,
Yeah.
if I was Philly, I'd make that in a heartbeat. If I was Philly, I was all over that.
I don't know, man. Apparently this guy he I'm surprised you haven't brought up Golden State. Why can't Golden State go ahead and get Ben Simmons?
Ben Simmons.
No.
They already have a good point guard.
Trade cleat.
Yeah.
I know, right?
So,
Oh man. Any last words on this, man? Before you wrap this up, man, we kind of beat Ben Simmons to death.
You think Rich Paul trying to get Ben Simmons on the Lakers?
Hey, that's also the legend that y'all keep saying. You know, Rich Paul just gets everyone to the Lakers wherever LeBron's at. So I don't know. I didn't buy into that. So I'm gonna say no.
I hope not. They already have a lack of shooting, man. They'll be in the hole if they bring Ben Simmons in.
I don't know. Maybe LeBron can mentor him into being a better version of himself, like he did all his other teammates.
I don't know.
LeBron
He ain't like the pressure.
Yeah.
If he ain't like the pressure before, I don't think he could survive on the LeBron team.
Oh yeah,
there's already external pressure on any team that LeBron's on, and then LeBron be getting frustrated, bro.
And it's in LA. You're right. It's in New York.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's in LA. Yeah.
The Kardashians will have their grip on Ben, man. Ain't gonna work.
He do kind of favor Kuzma. It'd be like a swap out,
bro.
Kuzma can shoot though.
No, I'm talking about how they look.
Can you see Ben Simmons with blonde hair?
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I was saying. I had pictured him with blonde hair, and I was like, damn, it'll be like Kuzma never left.
It's Belichick. He said all light skin looking like.
Apparently.
Y'all can just swap one over for the other.
Yeah, especially if we go blonde, we all look alike. Yo,
That's a fact.
He said that's a fact. Really?
That's what he's saying.
Dang. Okay.
Hey, we lost all 6 of our light skinned followers.
Yeah, exactly. We boycotted.
No. We only lost the ones with blonde hair.
Get specific.
Dang. So, all right, man. Let's wrap this up, man. Let's just go ahead with the sign-offs, man. Dudes, you back in. You first up, man. I know you got a lot to say. What you got to say?
Hey, man, it's good to be back with you fellas, man. Representing the South. It's good to do it again, man. Can't wait for the next episode.
Cool. Kev, man, what's up? What's going on with you?
Man, Cam, I hope you get a job. If you don't, know you'll be all right. So it's whatever. Yeah. But we still checking for you anyway. And what's up with the NBA? Kill all this drama. I shouldn't say kill, but stop all this drama. Get back to playing the sport. Let the agents do what the agents do. Let the GMs do what the GMs do. Yeah. And let's enjoy the sport for what it is. And like, stop all this off-court shenanigans, according to my boy Chris.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's what Jooonnes said. That's what Jooonnes said. I'm gonna let the GM do the GM job, man, and he got a ring.
There you go. There you go. Took KD extra long shoe to do it, but sure.
Man, that was a hell of a shot.
I know.
It was a good shot. Put on live.
Oh man,
that was a shot, man. I think the Nets probably could have beat Phoenix, man.
If they got healthy.
I don't know. Yeah, if they got healthy, it would have been.
Harden would have been a little bit more healthier. I think they would get him a run at least.
Breaks, man. Too many what ifs, man. Those are the break. Yeah. Injuries happen.
It's more of attrition, bro. So stay healthy. Stop taking these days off. Stop getting overweight and trying to. Anyways.
Yeah.
Nuke, man.
What's a whole other discussion.
Nuke, what's your sign off, man? What you got?
We rooting for Cam, man. I know we was talking, being a little funny, but we rooting for Cam. I hope he bounces back and lands a starting position. I mean, if he gets a backup position and he's happy and he's cool with it, but I think he deserves a starting spot. With this NBA stuff, I wish we really get along. It's too much drama nowadays.
What are you talking about?
Back in the day, we would wait till the 30 for 30 and find out there was drama 20 years later. Now we all in the trade agreements and all this stuff, and this person feel this type of way. Like, what you gonna do to 2025, man? Let's just work it out, bro. I think all parties involved would benefit from just coming on the court and showing up, and then get your way out if you still want to be out, or maybe just take some of that criticism a little bit. You don't have to take it for face value, but maybe use that to improve a little bit.
Yeah, sir.
You know what? Maybe Ben Simmons should talk to Kevin Samuels, man.
Oh my god.
Sure up his game.
What are you bringing to the table? Are you a high net worth?
high value person, individual. What do you want to call it?
You'll be real different. It's like, you're okay, so what? You're a great defender, so what? You don't shoot. You're not aggressive. It's just like, God damn.
How tall are you? How much you weigh?
Oh man, y'all are crazy. So, all right, man. This is Chris Belichick, man. Hey, hope everyone enjoyed the show. Like it, comment, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. We're here every Tuesday. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that stuff, so you know when we drop stuff. Now we're doing some off rhythm, off pattern drops as well to try to give you something to chew on until the next drop on Tuesdays. Yeah, man. I'll let everyone go, man. Hey, yo, let us know what y'all think about Cam Newton, where him and his hats are gonna go, and also Ben Simmons. Tell us what y'all think about that. So put that in the comments, and we'll check them out, and we'll get back to y'all. Until then, guys, later on next week. See y'all. Peace.
Peace.